I'd honestly forgotten how cold the beach can get at night this time of year. I'm so sorry. But thanks for agreeing to come back to my place with me. Why don't you get your coat hung up and I'll go get you something warm to drink? What do you want? Actually, I do have that. When you told me it was your favorite a couple of weeks ago at the coffee shop, I might have picked some up, just in case. Do you want to pick a movie, too? We can snuggle up under a blanket together on the couch, be all nice and close, share some body heat. Okay, I'll be right back. Here, I'll set it down on the coffee table while we get settled. Did you find something you wanted to watch? Oh, perfect. It's been a minute since I watched that one. Why don't you come over here, cutie, and let me hold you for a bit? Mm-hmm. Come lay down next to me. Yeah, just like that. And if I shift just a little bit like this, we're sort of holding each other. I like it too. I was gonna ask if you wanted me to start the movie, but I recognize that gleam in your eye. What's on your mind? Yeah, of course it is. Ask away. That's that's a lot heavier of a question than I expected. No, no, it's okay. I keep obliquely talking around it. You directly asking makes sense. I'd honestly probably be worried if you didn't ask. What with the way you love understanding the truth of things like you do. That's something I love about you know, that yearning in your core to see and understand and experience everything you can. God, you're wonderful. Just in case I haven't told you enough recently. Sorry, I'm not trying to avoid the question, I promise. I just got momentarily distracted by the wonder that you are, and by marveling at how grateful I am that you're here with me, in my arms, on my couch. I'm okay if this is a conversation you really want to have, but it's gonna be a heavy one. No, I figured you knew. I just wanted to be as clear as I can. There are a lot of things that have to change when you're turned, and the process isn't really gentle. I mean, you're in the process of dying, traumatically, when it happens, and it isn't the turning that kills you. The turning is what actually saves you, as counterintuitive as that might seem. But in saving you, there's a price. Who you are is irrevocably altered. Not emotionally, not as a direct cause, anyway, but physically. When you come to afterwards, it's almost like being in a brand new body. You almost don't feel like yourself at first. I mean, you were dying and now you're fine, but there are also the parts that make it feel like someone else entirely, that take a lot more getting used to. It starts as soon as you open your eyes. Enhanced vision in general, and an ability to see in the dark that no human has ever been capable of. And then there are things like the same pressure that you used to use to hold a glass now being so much greater than you think it is, thanks to your supernatural strength, that the glass shatters in your hand. I know I touched on it briefly before, but the stories and movies get a lot wrong. But they get a lot right, too. Do you remember when you first came over and you were shocked that I didn't have blackout curtains? Yeah. I probably would have thought the same in your position, honestly. And in all fairness, a lot of other vampires I know do keep blackout curtains. But I made a decision from the moment I was told that indirect sunlight wouldn't hurt me, that I never would. Because the moments when I wake up and the sunlight is seeping from behind the blinds into the room, making it all warm and golden behind my eyelids, is the closest I can get to enjoying the sun anymore. I try so hard not to miss it. I try to think of the fact that I can have even that much as a blessing, even if it sometimes feels like a cruelty. Because I do have at least that much, however small it is, however removed or distant from the actuality it might seem, when I thought I'd have nothing at all. I've never actually said that out loud before. It sounds kind of masochistic when I put it like that, but it doesn't feel that way. It feels like I'm finding the silver lining, even if I'm having to forge the silver and smelt the lining myself. I don't think that's anything special. It's not, though. It's a choice. There's this old proverb I heard once that was initially how I tried to approach my new life. How lovely is the sun after rain, and how lovely is laughter after sorrow. It was hard at first, I won't lie, because I lost everything. But I was still here, and I refused to let myself drown in bitterness and regret and hopelessness because of what had been taken from me in the process. I refused to let it change who I was as a person. I wanted to find the sun. I wanted to find the reasons to laugh. Because there was so much sorrow in coming to terms with where I had ended up. And slowly but surely, I did find those things. I couldn't go on a drive down the street anymore, but I could bask in the filtered glow while I laid in bed. My dietary needs changed completely, but I could still enjoy my favorite foods. I lost my family, but I found wonderful people whom I love dearly, whom I never would have been graced to know. A couple of years ago, I stumbled on a quote that just resonated with me on a core level. It's funny how we outgrow what we once thought we couldn't live without, and then we fall in love with what we didn't know we wanted. Life keeps leading us on journeys we would never go on if it were up to us. Don't be afraid. Have faith. Find the lessons. Trust the journey. It isn't always easy. I don't know that I'll ever not miss some of it. But I try every day to make sure that I'm trusting the journey. I've tried to make sure I'm leaving emotional room to find the things to fall in love with. And that's its own process, I won't lie. And it isn't always an easy one, even with 10 years of practice under my belt. But it's been a little easier lately, thanks to you. Since the day I met you, you have been a glorious, wonderful surprise, leading me down a path I don't think either of us even knew was waiting for us. Your curiosity and your adventurousness, your drive, the way you jump into everything with both feet. You're like a beacon, chasing away the shadows I didn't even know I'd been shrouded in. You're like the sunlight, bleeding from behind my blinds and turning my room gold, reminding me of what I have, of who I am. There's a lot of me that I let get subsumed over the last decade in trying to learn how to navigate my existence as it is now. And you've been the light, guiding my way back to those pieces of me that I'd tucked away. You're an absolute wonder, and I am grateful every day that I met you. You don't have any plans tomorrow, do In that case, how would you like to stay tonight? I was hoping that would be your answer.